Richfield, this is Janice Reed, Community Editor of the Richfield Sun Current, bringing you the news and happenings in Richfield, Minnesota. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency and the Minnesota Department of Health announced they will be testing for a group of chemicals called perfluorochemicals, or PFCs, that have unexpectedly been found in the blood and tissue of humans and animals around the world. The state of Minnesota is testing for possible drinking water and groundwater contamination by PFCs. The testing for PFCs, to be undertaken within the next several weeks, relates specifically to the use of a 3M manufactured Class B firefighting foam. According to staff, Class B foam has been used very infrequently in Richfield with respect to both firefighting incidents and in training. Moreover, Richfield has not used the Class B foam in training for several years. For updates on the testing, visit www.cityofrichfield.org. Representative Eric Paulson has represented Minnesota's 3rd District in the U.S. House for just over 6 weeks now. His first days in Washington, D.C. included voting on the massive economic stimulus package. The first-term Republican from Eden Prairie sat down with Sun newspaper correspondents Chris Olwell and Harvey Rockwood recently to talk about his experiences. Paulson said his office received a lot of feedback on the stimulus bill.
Well, actually, we had a lot of feedback on the last two and a half weeks because the stimulus package was, driving so much attention in terms of the news media. So we had a lot of calls that, weren't precipitated by groups, urging, their members to contact Congress. I think there were a lot of people that were sort of reading what they saw in the paper and were calling in for the most part. By and large, mostly opposed, just in terms of wondering, is it really going to help them in terms of actual, stimulus, in terms of, is it going to make sure that I'm able to keep my job or help someone get their job? A lot of skepticism on that front.
Although acknowledging the need for government to take action in light of the economic downturn, Paulson voted against the $750 billion stimulus package. He says the bill doesn't contain enough actual stimulus spending to be effective.
I really do understand that people are hurting and there is an absolute necessity for Congress to act, because some would argue that it's not the role of government to act and to take a role in terms of stimulating the downturn in the economy. I take a view that it is important to act. But the stimulus package really, it moved in the direction of just becoming kind of a supplemental spending bill. And so, only about 6% of the bill is actually geared towards infrastructure spending, which is really a small percentage, because I was thinking initially this was going to be a much larger percentage of infrastructure, roads, bridges, the electrical grid, and it ended up being only about 6% of the bill, really small. And then about 18% of the bill is now geared towards, tax relief towards individuals and businesses. And I would prefer that most of that go towards, helping individuals and businesses. Again, 18% is a small percentage, and so a very large percentage of the bill is actually going into funding programs, some new and some old. But there are some things in there that aren't going to help stimulate jobs. I mean, there's money for neon signs in Las Vegas, and eco butterfly parks, and golf courses and things like that. I mean, it's kind of the same old business as usual that I think, quite honestly, got the president in trouble, because he kind of let Nancy Pelosi run with the bill as opposed to really directing how he wanted it to be crafted in the first place. And that's why I think now you're seeing they're not going to let that happen again.
The Weather Underground forecast for tonight is partly cloudy with lows around 15 degrees. Tomorrow is likely to be partly cloudy with highs between 35 and 40 degrees. For the Richfield Sun Current and Sun newspapers, I'm Janice Reed. Thanks for watching.